Hi, welcome to AFTV. I've got Julian with me. We've just lost 1-0 to Inter Milan here at the San Siro. In the build-up to this game, we were talking about we need to see a performance from Arsenal. Regardless of the result, do you think we got that today?
I think we got the right performance from the Arsenal team. I would question the performance of Ivan Kovacs, who was the referee.
Yep.
I was more than slightly disappointed, and I can talk about two major incidents in the first half, which I think were very, with the big determinants of how that game went. The first one, and I'll refer to the IFAB rule 12.1, which is on handball. And there's two elements to that. The first one is, was it deliberate? And I would say absolutely not. And the second one is, was he in an unnatural position? And I would say, in my opinion, absolutely not. Therefore...
Where was his hand? Can you show me where his hand was?
Well, it hit his leg, bounced up, and his hand was here. Now, where on earth would your hand be? That, to me, is not an unnatural position. So I would say he got that completely wrong. Then you look at, they've got the ability to then go back and look at it. I don't understand why that decision was given the way it is. Okay, people can make mistakes. Second decision, and I'm not sure whether it's rule 12.1, 12.2, whatever, but I don't think that there's a rule in the game which says you can punch a player in the head and not give away a penalty. And that's exactly what happened with Marino.
I think that's fair. I think that because it happened before. I think Onana did it in a Liverpool game, and the VAR went back and looked at it, and he got awarded a penalty for it. So consistency, but Julian, you're talking about referee decisions. Arsenal, is it fair to say they should have been able to do more to win that game? Even though I know they went defensive after that, Inter Milan only had one shot on target, which was a penalty. But do you not put your eyes towards the Arsenal team? You can say the referee decision changed the game, but there was plenty more minutes, go on and win that game, or even get a draw.
Yeah, there was plenty more minutes, and that wasn't a perfect Arsenal performance, right, because we didn't score and we lost the game. And you can't have a perfect performance if you don't win the game, and it is an imperfect result if you lose the game. And you've got to think, what could you have done? And the first thing I'm going to say is I'll give credit to Inter Milan, although in my view there was a lot of cheating going on. You can call it gamesmanship, dark arts, or whatever.
It's Italy, how they defend, they're good at defending, holding off a lead.
I can see how they drive, and I can see how they play their football. It's not how I do things, and it's not the right way to behave.
Wait, you see how they hold on. You see how they? Are you talking about drive on the roads or drive?
Yeah, I think that's a reflection of how people's behaviour on the roads is often a reflection of their behaviour, and that
relates to the game.
That relates to how they played the game. But I'm not saying that that they were completely wrong in how they did that, but I think it's actually a great reflection of how well Arsenal played. The fact that a team that's lost one game, they've won all their Champions League games. They've done exceptionally well, and they're a great team. Played the game in such a defensive way, and the fact that they felt the need to play in that way is actually a compliment to us. And the other part,
is that a negative on Arsenal? Because there's many teams we play that do the same thing. They will go on a low block, and Arsenal over the years haven't been able to break them down. So is that also a negative that we didn't end up getting a goal back?
Yeah, of course it's a negative, but I'm going to say it is very, very difficult to play such a quality team when they play so defensively. But let's look at ways where Arsenal could have actually won that game, and what I would have done slightly differently if I was Arteta, and you have to take a bit of a gamble here, is what you do, and the crosses were coming in.
Yeah, plenty of them.
The crosses were coming in, but the players that were in the box, it had to be pinpoint. It had to be like a Newcastle cross.
A great goal.
Had to be a very accurate cross. Perfect to get that goal in. So what I would have done is I'd have taken the gamble, and we have two centre halves, and I've seen this done a few times in football, where you take a bit of a risk and you put your centre halves in the box, and they didn't do that. So I think that's where you've got a slight criticism of how Arsenal played, is that although they had all the possession, the performance was great, I would have tactically moved especially in the last 10 minutes, the centre-backs,
plural,
at least one.
Both of them.
At least, all right, at least one,
Fair.
and then maybe in the last 5 minutes, both of them, because goal difference isn't going to be an issue with how we're going to qualify for the Champions League top 8.
Do you see Thuram on Saliba? Do you see Thuram on Saliba at the end? It was always 1v1. Fair enough, Saliba got the better of him, but that if you put a Trossard there defending against Thuram, I think there's only going to be one winner if you're going to throw both your centre backs forward.
It would have been a gamble, but for me it's a gamble worth taking, because you're losing 1-0, and to lose 2-0, I don't think it's such a big issue. But to get that goal back could have had a massive effect. But I still think that Arsenal are going to get through, because I've looked at. I know Robbie was kind of struggling with the maths of how, where are we at, and I'll tell you where we're at.
Go break it down for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got 7 points.
Right.
And I've worked out. People talk about supercomputers, but I've done the arithmetic in my head. And I think we've got 13 points with the minimum you can qualify in eighth place. I think that's probably a 2% chance of getting through. If we get 14 points, I think we've got 25% chance of getting through in top 8. 15 points, you're looking at 75%. 16 points, you're looking at about 98%. 17%, 100% of getting through. We've got 7 points at the moment. We've got 4 games left. That's an ultimate 12 points left. I think we're going to get at least 3 victories in that.
In the last 3 games?
Yeah. So I believe, which is going to get us up to 16 points, which gives us...
We have Sporting next, who just beat City.
Yes, and that is the game where I think we're going to struggle the most. The other 3 games, I think we're going to get 9 points out of 12, which is going to bring us up to 16 points, which gives us a 98% chance, with my arithmetic, of getting through in the top 8.
Well, good luck going back with Robbie in the same car after telling him he can't count. Enjoy.